G'day and welcome to day 160 of this awesome beard growth. If you're just joining me today and it's your first day watching this, welcome. And what am I doing? I'm growing my beard for a whole year. Why? Because I can, and it might be my last chance to in my last year of uni. So here we go. And what do I study? I study chemistry. So what is today about? Well, today is normally Think About Thursday. So what I do is I normally theme each day. Today's Think About Thursday, and we're going to think about something quite deep. But to get there first, we need to discover or read back on what has happened in new discoveries in the world of physics and science. And yes, I'm talking about the Higgs boson. Now, what is the Higgs boson? It is a particle of the Higgs field. Now, what's the Higgs field? All right, so this is where everything starts to get deep. All right, so back in the 60s, I believe it is, like 48 years ago, whatever, there's a guy called Dr. Peter Higgs proposed about the Higgs field, or a field, and I guess everyone named it after him, because he was the one that proposed it, where all particles interact with giving them mass. So if there was no Higgs field, all these particles wouldn't have mass, and they'd shoot around the atmosphere, the universe, at, the speed of light, and things wouldn't come together to form atoms, and things wouldn't come together to form people, and stars, and worlds, and cars, and everything like that. So here we go. So let's break it down to you for more simple terms. It's been explained in a few different ways. I'm going to explain it with the water theory. Now, the water theory is, imagine the Higgs field is water, okay? So you've got a pool of water, and you throw a fish in there. Now, a fish is going to interact with the water less because it's more streamlined, and so it can be considered a small mass particle such as a lepton. Now, leptons include neutrinos and electrons and all those kind of things. If you don't know what they are, look into them even more. Now, me being not so streamlined, walking through the water, I'm going to interact with the water even more, and that can be considered a large mass, all right? So, such as a quarks. And now quarks, you've got plenty of quarks, like top quarks, bottom quarks, and all that. But these are things that make up protons and neutrons and such force. And then you've got other things called force carriers. And these force carriers are such things as protons that don't have any mass, sorry, not protons, photons that don't have any mass and don't interact with the Higgs field. And such one is a photon, which is light. So light hitting my face right now has no mass. It comes and it doesn't interact with the Higgs field, so it has no mass, it just hits me. And it's able to travel at the speed of light. So there you go. So a Higgs, force carrier in water would be turning on a light and the light going through the water. So there you go. Now, these come from the standard model of physics, all right? So this is what's considered the standard model. So what they did, I don't know how long ago, probably 15 years ago, I think now, and $9 billion, they created the Large Hadron Collider, man, words and stuff and things. Come on, keep up with me here. There's lots of words, lots of scientific things. But anyway, they created the LHC to do this discovery of the Higgs boson. So what it is the Higgs field is like the water, and the Higgs boson would be like a molecule of the water. So we all know water is simply H2O, two hydrogens, one oxygens, bonded together, and then all these bonded together become water, that you fill at your swimming pool up. So a Higgs boson would be a particle of water, and the Higgs field would be the water in general. Okay, now the Higgs boson doesn't have a large lifespan. It breaks down quite quickly into subparticles and everything like that. But they managed, they were getting closer and closer to find out the relative mass of the Higgs boson field and all that kind of stuff. And they've managed to work out that it would be 100, let me get this correct, I believe it's 125 billion electron volts, okay, which is quite large in the particle world. But anyway, so there you go, so they discovered this thing, and now it was called the God particle. Now, the reason why it was called the God particle is normally in the media, okay, so scientists hate calling it the God particle for numerous reasons, but originally got called the God particle by a guy called, it was Leon Lederman, and he wrote a book called The God Particle. Now, originally he wanted to call it the goddamn particle, being used in the term that, I guess a lot of people in, even Western cultures would say it's very blasphemous to say goddamn, and so it was the God particle, and it was, believed to give instructions to the creation of life and the Big Bang and all that kind of thing, and now people are coming out saying that this is the creation of life, and it proves that there was a Big Bang, and it proves that God exists and everything like that. Now, to me, this gives no evidence either way. So if you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, it gives no evidence either way. It's like saying, hey, we found atoms. This is what makes up the whole world. These atoms, these are the God particles, these are the building blocks to the world. And then later on, someone splits the atom up and they're like, oh, we've got protons. We found these proton things. And they're like, wait a minute, something has to balance the protons. What balances these protons? These protons are tiny. And then they're like, oh, wait, there's electrons and they're negative to the proton, which is positive, and they're even smaller. So there you go. It's just a new discovery in science and our building blocks and everything like that. So to me personally, I don't believe this is evidence for or against the existence of God. It is just new evidence of how this whole world is put together and how we interact and how my hand is able to be here and not many particles shooting out into the universe at the speed of light because of the Higgs field. Now, I found this just amazing because this always happens in science. You have people like back in the day, I can't remember his name, I'm going to say Galileo, but I don't think it's him, but anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, but I should have researched this. People saying like the world is flat, then one guy came out and goes, the world is round, and goes on, proves it, but everyone's calling him crazy. These kinds of people, like back in the day when Dr. Higgs did this, one of the greatest minds in physics back then, who's one of the greatest minds in physics now, Stephen Hawking, said that it didn't exist and would, his claims were outrageous and everything like that, and even had a $100 bet on it. So there you go, so he's been proven wrong. They found this Higgs boson, which is a subparticle of the Higgs field, which hardly exists, and I'm able to measure it to 5 sigma, which is 5 standard deviations away, which is like some crazy statistical things. don't get me started to statistics. You don't want to go down that road, go down this road of physics. But anyway, hopefully I've explained to you quickly enough and simply enough what the Higgs field is, what the Higgs boson is, and what they're all excited about. So it's a new discovery. It would be like discovering the atom, or discovering protons and neutrons and electrons in the atom, and then discovering the the standard theory of what protons and neutrons are made up of, and everything like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like my videos, my video here, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you tomorrow, which is Fire Out Friday, where I do find a really cool video for you that's really funny. I might even have a personal one for you. And then, Saturday, Sunday's random. Monday is Monday Magic, yes. I do magic as a magician, hobbyist. Tuesday is Teaching Tuesday. Teach something. Wednesday is what's happening Wednesdays in the news. And today was Think About It Thursday. So that's what you think about. Is this discovery of the Higgs boson really proof, disproof of God, creation, Big Bang, and all those kind of things? Leave your comments down below and any other comments you like. So thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.